So the final weakness we have is lack of exploitation. Basically what that means is each team, when you think of esport, you can't think of what team represents those games. When you think of it, you think of like, yeah, you see like your people like Ninja and those people, but no one really has a team. No one really knows about team outside of it. Opportunities would be a favorable development in the environment. And what that basically means is esport is a sports competitor, basically. So because it's such a rapid growth in the environment, there's a lot of room for the opportunity to grow. There's a lot of favorable development in it that people still don't know about. Even though it's still new, it's still new, so people can still learn a lot more about it. Another opportunity, you haven't emerged from a dominant figure. But like I said with that earlier, is there's no one that really stands out in it. There's no one that's really the face of esport. Simplicity can be the first company that's the face of esport. And also another opportunity is free publicity. Everyone loves anything that's free, especially when you come from a business standpoint. Free publicity such as Twitch, such as Microsoft Mixer. You can go on any of those and have free publicity to where you don't have to worry about paying for it too much. You don't have to worry about going out and marketing billions and billions of dollars, where you can put in a couple $1,000s and get a much more productive out of it. And the threats is always going to be a network environment that needs to be improved. There's always hackers out there. There's always someone that wants to hack a server. There's always someone that wants to get in and find some way to do something that they're not supposed to do. That's a big threat, and the hardware competition. So what that means basically is that you can have certain companies can sponsor teams, which will drop their price, which will make it easier for them to get stuff. So let's say like you have Microsoft and they want to sponsor Simplicity. That will mean that you're going to get a bigger discount at getting Microsoft stuff and getting the top brand versus another company, which will give you upper hand.
So with social media, everyone knows Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. It's a big outcome. First here, we're going to talk about the Simplicity Twitter page. They joined in October 2016, and as of right now, they tweet 2 to 3 times a day. 3 times a week, sorry, with a total of only 558 tweets total from when they joined. And they only retweet fans on game day, so if there's a fan tweeting their favorite player, good luck or something, they only retweet what the fans say only on game days, which are the important days. And then they don't have a verification check mark at all, and that's really important if you want to be if you want to be a big sports team. And then also, they only have 7,401 followers on Twitter, and a lot of the esports teams, they mainly go over Twitter because it's easy to access Twitch and stuff like that. And then with the Instagram, they only post 2 pictures, and they join, even though they recently just joined in January, they should be posting at least once a week. And they only have 22 followers and are only following 8 people. And they are not verified and do not have a blue check mark. And with what I've noticed, it is very important if you want to be noticed to have a blue verification check mark.
So one of the most important things in any business, let alone just the esport business, is increasing brand recognition. There are a lot of different ways you can do so. One is the website. Consumers really remember good first impressions, so if they go on the Simplicity website and they see this big, giant, fancy, easy to use, it's also another important thing, but kind of just all in all, very well put together website with all the information that they would be looking for and kind of just ways to maneuver. That's one thing that they'll definitely remember. Free stuff, people love free stuff, very, very simple. If it's free, it's for me. Give out t-shirts, tchotchke items, giveaways, tickets to major events, whatever. Exceed expectations. I know it sounds kind of vague, but at the same time, people go into certain situations with certain expectations, but if you break down and think about what people are looking for and go above and beyond what they're looking for, that's going to have a huge impact, and they're going to remember that. And that's one thing that's going to make Simplicity stick out from every other team and their website as well. And also keeping the branding consistent, so the logos are, I think the logos are very cool. Just keeping that branding consistent on the websites, on merchandise, on tchotchke items, whatever, just posters, wherever you guys are going to advertise yourself.
Another recommendation that we have is to increase social media involvement. We understand that Simplicity is a new business and they're mainly focused on survival right now, but we think that social media is a great way to reach as many people as possible and to really get your name out there. As we mentioned, Simplicity is using social media, but they're not using it frequently enough and they're not using it as effectively as they could and to their full advantage. We think that a great way to effectively use social media is to use visuals. spark more interest on social media. So Simplicity could post a photo behind the scenes of the team practicing. They could highlight certain team members, and they could even reach out to fans and ask them to caption a funny image for them. Contests and giveaways are also huge on social media, so Simplicity can say, hey fans, like this page and you'll be entered to win a free product. Asking followers questions is another great way to get a reaction from fans and to get feedback. And overall, as I mentioned, just using social media more frequently and regularly updating all social media platforms is really important. Simplicity is also looking to drive investor interest. Assuming that the company becomes publicly traded soon, Simplicity is going to be looking for investors. The good news for Simplicity is that investors follow the money, and many experts agree that esports is going to be a huge industry. It's expected to be a $1 billion industry by 2020. The Simplicity owners, in order to gain investors, they should attend industry conferences, because many analysts go to these conferences and they're looking for the next new idea, and that's a great way for Simplicity to get their name out there. They could also host an investor day where analysts are invited to come and Simplicity can talk about their business strategies and their goals. So let's say that everyone's flying out to Vegas for an eSport conference. The day before, the day after, Simplicity can host their own investor day and really talk to people on a personal basis. Once Simplicity has shareholders, they should also meet with them periodically to really understand their interests. The big picture is really just to see who your possible investors are and really find ways and opportunities to reach out to them and share your business model with them and share your strategies.
All right, so for this next section, we're going to compare Simplicity to some of the top esport teams. First, we're going to look at earnings. So this is a list of the top 10 teams in 2017 with the highest earnings from competitions. As you can see, the best teams make millions of dollars a year. From what I could find online, Simplicity's only made $12,913 so far in winnings. 8,913 of that has come through Overwatch Season 1, and 4,000 of it has come from the NHL Snyder Cup, which one of their players, Young Brin, just won. So like, this isn't necessarily something that we expect Simplicity to achieve like anytime soon. It's just, kind of a benchmark of, possible goals that they might want to meet in the future, but like, we definitely don't expect them to be on this list anytime soon. So next, we're going to compare their social media to the top esport teams. So I took that same list and I looked up all of their Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook followers, likes, stuff like that. So for the averages for the top teams, they have on average over 1 million Twitter followers, over 565,000 Instagram followers, and over 260,000 likes on Facebook. And as we mentioned before, Simplicity is kind of lacking in this. We believe that this is because of just the amount of times that they use their social media. And like we mentioned before, they only tweet 2 to 3 times per week, and they only have 2 photos on Instagram. FaZe Clan, which is one of the most popular esport teams, had 4 tweets and 5 Instagram photos posted just yesterday. So in order to attain this type of popularity, we believe that they need to be much more active on social media. And lastly, we're going to kind of see like what the sponsors are like for the top esport teams. So with that same list, those teams had around 3 to 8 sponsors. A lot of big brands sponsor those teams, such as LG, Samsung, Jack in the Box, and Monster. Simplicity currently has no sponsors, and it's reasonable to assume that it's because of their popularity and just their overall success. It's nowhere close to those teams that we were talking about before, but it's still possible to get sponsors. There's these services online that helps connect esport teams to potential sponsors. One of these services is called Hello Gamers. From their website, they say that you don't have to be the best team to get sponsored. Sponsors are looking for all types of teams at all levels. So don't assume that just because you don't have millions of fans that sponsors aren't interested. Hello Gamers is the best and first step any team should take if they are interested in maximizing their gaming sponsorships. Market your team to sponsors, manage your sponsorships, and grow your fanship. So basically what they do is create a profile based on your gamers and your social media following, and introduce that to potential sponsors, and if they're interested, they'll contact you. We don't believe that Simplicity should do this right away just because of their very small social media following. We think that they should, increase their social media presence and then use something like this to potentially get some new sponsors.
So in summary, with everything put together, in terms of social media, Simplicity is not active enough on all forms of social media, so in order to help improve their social media presence across Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all that stuff, they need to kind of be more active, be more interactive with their followers, and gain more followers. The main recommendations, as I mentioned, increase social media involvement to create a larger fan base. In addition, is to work to drive investor interest. So with the increased investor interest, you have more money. So, and more connections through those investors. So